Hmm. How would I do? Yesterday we had a topic, but for one reason or the other, we're not able to finish our topic. The topic evolved into other things. So we're back at where we were supposed to be. And the conversation is he, this was what we're supposed to answer yesterday. So the girl left the guy because the guy refused to call her pastor Papa. And the guy's argument was good evening, good morning, good, whatever the time frame you are at, whatever the time frame you are at, it is indeed good, kind of ish. How are you doing? Someone said he hopes this night will not end like yesterday night. Me too. I'm hoping too, because that yesterday night was a bit tight. Last night was a bit tight. The way we went in and out was wild. Big shout out to Wale, who read Bible for us. And of course, our lovely brother, what's his name, Dilly. We know the agree here word. Okay, so I want to open up the lines. What are your thoughts? Hello, Samaria. How are you doing? So, guys, what are your thoughts? Yesterday we had a very long conversation. It it spiraled into many places that yesterday. And I don't have much energy today, so I want you to be the ones to answer it. Will you break up? You see, you guys need to understand that religion is. My dad made a lot of decisions because of religion. We all make decisions because of religion. Me, for instance, I cannot marry. Ordinary, this their morning prayer that they do. I cannot marry a woman that does it. We go quarrel. We go dey quarrel every day because go dey vex me. It go dey vex me. You know, religion can be a very, very deep rabbit hole, and people don't usually understand how deep it is until they get in. It usually starts very mild on the surface. It's harmless. Is it not just a prayer meeting? It's harmless. Before you know it, you've roped yourself in. Sometimes you've roped yourself in so deep that you don't even know what you're doing. Someone said religion can cause serious delulu. I agree. I agree. And you will be using religion to interpret, you'll be using spirituality to interpret. But she has you see, the guy said for him it will have been easier, but they have a child together. That He is older than her pastor, so why should he call her Papa? Why should he call the pastor Papa? He is older than the pastor. Somebody say there is anointing. Which anointing are you people? But you know, dogma gosh, I swear. You know, there's so many things in my journey in this life. If you were with us last night, Daly and that other guy, who both, by the way, are pretty clueless about anything scripture or religion. If you see the way they were making sense with themselves, religion is a form of madness. Let me explain religion to you. Eh, Religion is a blind man inside a black room looking for a black cat that does not exist and finding it. Once you understand that irony, religion will make sense to you. A blind man in a black, dark room looking for a black cat that does not exist and then finding it. Yesterday night, Dele saw the light. He found the black cat in the dark room that does not exist. He found it yesterday. Dele, if you were with us yesterday, Dele found that cat. And he was so excited about finding this cat. And I didn't know whether to worry for him or to feel pity for him. I didn't know whether to worry or to feel pity for him. It is borderline scary the way religion makes people think. The pride said, I felt sorry for him. I felt sorry for him too. Because for that to make sense to you, we're talking about speaking in tongues yesterday. And I can guarantee to you, from my research on tongues, you have never heard genuine tongues before in your life, unless maybe you were in Sele. That nonsense that they do in Pentecostal, that thing no be tongues. Now just mumu de lulu. I used to do it with them until one day, I don't know whether something slapped me or I slapped myself. And I asked myself, this madness, which day am I going to stop it? Speaking in tongues is not a rabo shebe rabababa. We will not rehearse to see who pass who. That's not tongues. Tongues have always been languages. Because Paul wrote one line, and Paul to talk. Sele interpreter of tongues, now languages. Ask anybody we don't go say, no be this mumu way they do. If you listen to the testimony of Agnes Osman when she first spoke in tongues, people that were there saw a halo around her face. It was like Acts chapter 2. It was like Acts chapter 2. It wasn't the nonsense that you, as in, if you read the story of Agnes Osman, if you read the story of Charles Fox Parham and the Bethel Bible School, William Seymour, if you read their story of the kind of things they did in the Azusa Street revival, Then they had a problem. Fox Parham was white, William Seymour was black. Then, under the anointing, black men started falling, and when they would fall on white women. So it just didn't. There was now a problem between Seymour and Parham, and then Parham was accused of being a gigi. When I need to read church history, sometimes I sit down, they look at that. Parham was accused of being a gigi. He was arrested for a gigi. King James was not arrested for a gigi, but he was confirmed a gigi. King James' boyfriend's name was George Villiers. I need you to Google the name George Villiers and Google King James letters to George Villiers. I have seen the letters with my korokoro eyes. You can see them in the British Museum. I forgot where the address is again. You will see the letter. King James called George Villiers his husband. No, sorry, his wife. Or whether not a husband, I don't remember. He said he lives his life for him. As in, that letter, if I write and give Samaria, she go faint as woman. Can't imagine, say you write them from man to man. Yeah, is it the museum in Houston? Is it that one? Or maybe that one also has some of, as in, you go see King James write letter with hand, with ink, no be typo. So you need to understand. And when I've been there before, my ex too was extreme. My ex was borderline fanatic. That's why sometimes I worry for my kids. I worry sometimes for my kids. But that's the only aspect I worry for my kids. I don't worry about her being a good mother and taking care of them. I believe she will take good care of them and all that. But you see that religious mindset. Mama, they carry and give picking like sickness new. George Villiers, that's King James' wife's name. Meanwhile, now man, about religion are dirty full on. Any day una know, una go know. You understand? Mom with Cape was with us yesterday. I was telling her, I said, you have never seen tongues before. I guarantee you, you have never seen anything that is like tongues before. Someone said, do you think your ex might be joining your life sometime? She's welcome. She's welcome to join. Someone said they'll still have mind of their own. It's not easy. If you are raised with religion, to be able to have a mind of your own is almost impossible. Especially when you live with a parent. Someone say, na bad thing, if both wife and husband enter religion prison. Kasongo, yay. They're overseas. Yeah, so that can help. That can help. So DF, if not religion, what do we do? What do you do? You just live your life. Which one is must you see? Let me tell you how bad religion is. Your ancestors called God before the white man came. Because they didn't write it down does not mean there was not a method of talking to God. You see, that paper that they wrote the Bible on came from a tree. Your ancestors connected with the tree. I'll say that again. That paper that they wrote the Bible on came from a tree. Your ancestors connected with the tree, with the leaves, with the sand. The earth talked to them. In the book of Thomas, I think it's 73b, it says, lift a rock. They asked Christ, said, how can we find you? And he said, lift a rock. I am there. Split a wood. I am there. I am in you and around you. That whole idea of bringing God from abroad to Nigeria, or to Africa, alienates the African man from his God experience. Alienates the African man from his real inborn experience with God. Our African man get his own God, though. Not be the one way that they mix, not be the wicked one. The one way be like us, we understand us. I don't to talk. I won't bring another person may talk. May not just be like saying I'm only me they talk today. Who is here who make person raise hand? Make I bring person. Mom with cape, they run. Cakesville. I'm just sending requests to everyone. Razi. Chika. Now me they send requests to make I see whether another person go fi answer. I don't go bother send Kamorudin request because he no go come. Where is everybody? Where is Wale? Where is Chichi Obama? Okay, I bring Sama baby. I don't want to disturb her before. Be like say she don't run herself. I dey tired. And my wife they tell me say this wake up where I won't wake up, come go they talk to people. Sama baby, this one where you tie face, what thing they do you? Yes, tired. Me too, I did tired. How far? I get headache. Good. And you can't they type like that, they go. Someone say don't bring her. Why? Mom with Kate now my sister. Forget anything. Today. How far? Fine, sir. All right, brother. More hear your own side. Don't tell me, say, pop my money gun if you're watching on TikTok. I just come online now. I don't know what they're saying about. Okay. You go press X, then I go talk them again, so make you hear. Then you go come send me request again. Okay. So just press X. They help like that. All right. God bless you. No, this one I no blame mom. I no blame mom at all. Even me, I no get energy. Wale, We don't carry you come back after yesterday. Now you go just take control because my energy they low.
But if you know what you were saying about kids,
Yeah.
you're worrying.
You know, you have never lived in a house. Do you have any fanatic parents?
Me?
Not you, Samaria.
Nah, nah, no. But you know that your kids are overseas, right?
Mm.
They're here. So you shouldn't even be worried or concerned about them because despite, one thing I know for a fact is, I know like what you were trying to say about the damage religion does, especially when, coming from parents and they want to impose all those things. But one of the beautiful thing about kids over here is that they will still have a mind of their own. When you're done training them, they will train themselves. Okay? Because regardless, I've seen people that didn't grow up in religious homes and then they just wake up one day. I know somebody that was talking about how his ex suddenly, she started following these people on the YouTube, and then the lady would just follow them. Before you know, she started practicing the things they were practicing. She started getting fetish, like all those things, bringing in her own things, started her own incante, all those things, and just like that, before you know it, she had to she had to cut her hair. She cut her hair before you knew what was going on. She started saying, "Oh, they don't do this, they don't do that." Started depriving the husband from benching.
Now, where problem
And
one start with
that?
that?
Like that was what led to that marriage. The end of that marriage. That was what led. She was bringing in different things in the house, putting all these, making incense and things. So I just feel like, meanwhile, there are people who will also agree. Okay, and you still agree with me that there are people that their fathers and their whatever we are pastors and deacons and whatever, but you see them in the club. You see these girls like doing the most. You be like, are these not the same people that their parents are this and that? So I just feel like at the time in humans, it can go both ways. Somebody who didn't grow up with something like that may suddenly start practicing it, and the person who grew up with something like that may drop it and
suddenly drop it.
Yeah. So I think it depends on environments, and life choices anyways. I don't know.
Wale, over to you.
Well, we have talked about it, but of course we cannot overemphasize it because it's been an endemic. But of course, I think that this era is the era of awakening. And we must, try the best we can to, straighten the minds of our people. I really learned a lot last night, knowing that there was even a verse of the Bible that said that Jesus forewarned that you cannot call anybody Father except Father the Most High. And then you cannot call anybody anything but teacher other than him. And even growing up, because I do have Christian families, I hear them calling Jesus Olukoni, which simply means teacher.
Oluko or Olushoagutan. Olushoagutan means shepherd.
Shepherd, that's
and right. He called himself, he said, I am the good shepherd. So shepherd is in line, and shepherd means pastor. Pastor, the word pastor came from shepherd. So it's okay to call somebody Pastor Wale, Pastor Samaria. It's okay. You understand? Especially if the person has a flock. If there are people that listen to the person, there are people that person teaches. The word shepherd is okay. Because the disciples were also our shepherds. But you see, once you don't enter Papa, you don't enter secret cults. Once you don't call your pastor Papa, you are a cultist. You don't they cult. They must and again, by the time we start glorifying humans, what are we gonna do to the one who's giving us the life? Because as far as you're concerned, that next man you're looking so highly or talking so highly of is immortal like you. He's a non-entity. He's a nobody. Listen, you don't need your pastor. Your pastor needs you. See, if the day you woke up and stopped going to church, that day your pastor's brokenness begins. Your pastor relies on you and your belief system for him to have a source of income. The day your pastor is like your house girl or house boy. If you not pay them
Business.
salary, they not go get money. It is as simple as that.
Who will go start?
Now,
You know, the funniest part is that when they do those things, they want you to drop your on the why believing in miracle. Like,
very good.
they want you, like, they will convince you to drop yours right there. So your seed right there. Yeah? Then you go home believing that your own will come.
You see, let me explain something to you. The mosque I attended as a kid, Arimo, Ahmadiyya Mosque, Arimo, the Imam, Salahuddin, was a taxi driver. Then he used to sell engine oil. He get work.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Imam no be full-time work. Imam na like volunteer work.
Of course.
You understand? We had an imam and we had a zonal leader. The two of them get work. The zonal leader used to sell plastic. You know, say now who I grow. So now only my papa be doctor and only my mama be lawyer. Okay, we had one or two lawyers too. The Obisheson family. Doctor, now only my papa be doctor for that whole area. As in, I'm talking about, that's why my father could not live there, because they just always looked up to him. Doctor, you understand? It's not like there's a religion that is perfect. Every religion gets own. But you see, this, what Christianity has become. And I used to tell people, I say, how come the Catholic Church does not speak in tongues? Have you ever wondered why? Because you see, before Pentecostal could just carry one line for Bible. It makes sense. It no make sense. They just give us spiritual meaning.
Twist it.
Begin the run with them.
Circle.
The Catholic Church does not speak in tongues. Why? Should at them start this thing. Every church broke out of the Catholic Church, except the Ethiopian church. Every church. So where una see una own from? So
if na Islam, so there is a particular verse of we call it fiqh. So fiqh is not a Quran, but is a teaching, like an extended teaching of how to perfect your religion, how to do it right. That says that, even I met my grandfather saying that prayer that says kolon re any bidia at bidia. What is bidia? Bidia means innovation. There is good and bad innovation. Like using of megaphones to call to prayer is good innovation. No matter who you are, even if you like make you be Muhammad first son, you cannot change the 5 pillars of Islam. And now, because they were afraid of the fact that they might come and mesmerize the whole doctrine, they now started placing curses on people who introduce bad media. That's bad innovation. So now, you see, doing this thing is not about, because if I'm looking beyond, spirituality, I'm looking at the social, cultural aspect of, misleading people because of their vulnerabilities. Of course, somebody has to know something before someone. Knowledge is a thing that is passed down, but because you are up front and we're giving you that, baton as a leader and somebody we can trust with leading us right, now do not misuse it. Because when you just speak things, read it, and, tune it to your own narratives, that's misleading the public. How can you say somebody should not work, that their miracle is on the way? Their miracle
Wale, let me tell you something. I saw one light yesterday. Make I be like Dele. Acts chapter 2 spoke of everybody hearing their language when they were speaking tongues. Acts chapter 14, 1 Corinthians chapter 14 referred to tongues as languages. Acts chapter 2 said when the disciples started speaking in tongues, there were tongues of fire on their heads. We read the history of Agnes Osman at the Bethel Bible Church. They said when she started speaking in tongues, she was speaking Chinese and writing in Chinese characters. And she could not write English again for like 3 days. That a halo, like a glow, was around her face. Acts chapter 2 reported it as a tongue of fire. The Bethel Bible School reported it as a halo.
And that's centuries
If you read the history of Charles Fox Parham, let me do some. This history is what I taught one day when one professor of theology from Harvard find me come Nigeria. I just did Cool FM that year. I will send you the link. The woman came and said, this guy that is preaching this thing, I want to see where he got this knowledge from. From Yankee. If you Google it, I'll show it to you. Make I just Google Daddy Freeze, professor from Harvard. Now, woman. This is the lady with me there. If you see us as a young guy, fresh that year.
Do you have those 2-week courses? No, we don't have any. This is a whole other ballgame. We don't have 2-week courses like a seminary. Because I want to study Pentecostalism. That is very hard from the beginning, from 1900 when it started.
She has PhD in her name is Professor Anthea Butler, professor in Harvard and Penn. You watch the video on YouTube, is there. Let me tell you a bit of the history. You see, Charles Fox Parham was the one that started Pentecostalism. He was never ordained as a pastor. He broke out of the Methodist Church because he was complaining about the hierarchy, the high-handedness. You know if you grow unless you grow among the rank. So he broke out of the Methodist Church and started his own movement. We don't turn Pentecostalism today. So, one of the things they did in the Bethel Bible School was they said they almost made it like money was evil. For you to join the Bethel Bible School they didn't collect school fees, and there was no amount you pay. But for you to join, you have to give out everything you have. Then any gift where they give them, now all of them go share, use the chop. That's how they started. So they used to dedicate themselves to prayer. They had nothing worldly. They threw away their worldliness.
Is that not like they can't be like the nuns, like that, something like that, the nuns?
I don't know.
Is that similar to them?
No, you see, it was more of what they were looking for was the gifts of the Holy Spirit. Now, so they used to pray for, because Charles Fox Parham believed that there's something more about this Christianity than this thing where these people they do. So he wanted to experience tongues, he wanted to experience prophecy, he wanted to experience those gifts. Then I think it was between 1899 and 1901, that 3-year period, there was one day they were having a prayer, one of those their prayer sessions, and Agnes Osman just went into a trance and started speaking tongues. So that was the first recorded in proper historical documents, the speaking of tongues. And it was Agnes Osman. Now, in today's world, they want to replicate what Parham did. But they want to collect money. You understand? Parham eventually died. He was 50-something when old. Waiting Parham. He had, I think, a heart condition that had been bothering him all his life. those people, they give away materialism. Even me, I know say my spirituality no strong, reach as it's supposed strong, because I get tied with materialism. Materialism is very, very detrimental to your spiritual growth. Even me, I go tell you. But my own excuse and understanding is, I cannot come and preach to Wale if I'm poor. Wale will never listen to me. He will never listen to me. You understand? So I might not be able to speak in the tongues I need to speak in. I might not be able to look into at you and just prophesy. I might not be able to do those things that I would have been able to do if I did away with materialism. And my essence at the end of the day is, if I did all those, Christ did all those things, people still believe. My essence is, I will still teach you that word. Samaria, you go take Panadol, well.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go sleep at the face.
Well,
Walk, I mean, just
1961, DF, I was told the book of Revelation came to pass. Those 7 messages and how they betrayed and what was used to destroy them, the witness is still alive. Let me tell you something for free. The book of Revelation, as a scholar, I will sound stupid if I don't give you the scholarly consensus. You know what the scholarly consensus, while just as the word says, scholarly consensus, what scholars have agreed, the book of Revelation has nothing to do with any end times. If you are looking for biblical end times, 2 Thessalonians, Matthew 24, Matthew 25, those are talking. Revelation has to do with Emperor Nero, who lived between the first 100 years after Christ. And it was during the persecution of the Christians. It was not written by the John of the Bible. It was written by another John called the John of Patmos. This is scholarly work. Any person that is a scholar, unless the person want dribble you, the consensus is the book of Revelation has passed since. It is not a future prophecy. It was about the times of Emperor Nero, written with graphic imagery to portray the pain, the tribulation, and the mindset of Emperor Nero and the persecution of Christians under him. So if you read Revelation, if you just Google Revelation and Emperor Nero, it will give you some insight into this. So anybody telling you about the book of Revelation, if you see, I use the book of Revelation. If I want to establish a doctrine, we're all guilty. We'll go Revelation. You understand? And what I say sometimes is there are 2 translations to the Revelation: the end time translation and the scholarly translation. So if I use it as an end time translation, I still try to inform my audience, because I know, Simply Vic knows, anybody that has taken time to study scripture knows that the book of Revelation was not talking about anything other than the life and times of John Patmos and Emperor Nero. All that dragons and imagery was just to paint a picture of the tribulation that happened under Emperor Nero. Now, can there be a more anagogical translation? Yeah, but then it's dangerous, because how do I stop you from running wild with it? So yeah. Because you see, be rudelen si by Tomak be Bible. One come a cow, come a funny lights ni. One them a one who ni. You just carry the entire bush. You understand? So there must be some. It's like, for instance, now, If, imagine two people come to meet you and said they saw a ghost. One of them is mom with cape, our lovely sister here, and the other one is an atheist Oyinbo man. Who will you rather believe?
I mean, knowing mom with cape right now,
Yes.
mom with cape not fanatic.
You understand? So when somebody who you know is not religious,
If you say that shadow, you see.
thank you. So if somebody that is not religious has an experience, you will not believe that they are superstitious. But you see, person will already believe, say, spirit they inside this thing, spirit they inside this thing.
Every little thing.
You understand? You will tend to have doubts. It's like Daily now. If Daily can't talk something, we go doubt him. Sure, you get. Someone say mom with cape has been seen.
That man will come last night. Daily don't catch the electric already.
As in, and that guy, the yarn balls. That guy, the yarn nonsense. The guy go mention Bible verse, I go quote him from my head. As the guy go say, the Bible said, I say, yes, this is where it said it. And this is what it said before, and this is what it said after. The guy will tell me confidently, say, I don't know, I don't understand him. And they look the guy like this. Those kind, they know they argue with them. Because if you ask, say, okay, this thing that you understand, give me the submission of how you arrived at your conclusion. He will tell you it is spiritual. And my question is, I made Wale read Mark chapter 16.
From 1 to 27.
From 1 to 20. Some Bibles end at 8. Some end at 20. My question now is, how do you spiritualize a book that they don't even know the ending? You could just know, say, do you know that Matthew 23 verse 14, let me quote it to you from my head. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you devour the houses of widows. Do you know it does not exist in scripture? It was a footnote that was later added as a verse. And then in King James, it is a verse. The newer Bibles now came and realized that, the people that added this thing, they did not add it from any reliable manuscript. Because for the Greek manuscripts, we have the majority text, and we have the critical text, and we have the Textus Receptus by Erasmus. The least reliable is the Textus Receptus. The critical text, in my opinion, is the most reliable. And these are all Greek manuscripts. Now, the older manuscripts does not have that thing as a verse. It was later added. And when the scholars now realized that, this thing is addition, they now removed it and dropped it back to the footnotes. How do you spiritualize a book where they add and they subtract? How many chapters are there in the Quran, Wale?
We have 6,666.
God bless you. The Catholic Bible has 77 or 72. The Pentecostal Bible has 69.
What? Are you referring to the way I read that NLT yesterday?
Just Google how many books, as you did like that. If you get another phone, help me out. How many books does the Protestant Bible have?
Is it pages? Okay, books.
Books, like the book of John, the book of James, the book of Matthew. How many books does the Protestant Bible have? Just watch.
It says Protestant Bible contains 66 books divided into
Okay, now Google, how many books does the Catholic Bible have?
Okay. 73 books.
So how come the Protestant Bible, which is King James, has 66 books, but the Catholic Bible has 73 books? Now Google, how many books does the Ethiopian Bible have? Just Google it.
'81 to '88. 81.
81 books. Now, how do you spiritualize a book that they don't even know the right number of books that are inside it? The Catholic Bible has the book of Judith, the book of Tobit. If you read the book of Tobit, it talks of Asmodeus. Asmodeus was a very powerful demon. If you read the Testament of Solomon, in the Testament of Solomon, Solomon trapped Asmodeus and used Asmodeus to build the temple. The word Asmodeus does not exist in the normal Bible, but it's there in the Catholic Bible, in the book of Tobit. So my question now is, how do you spiritualize a book that we are still arguing how many books there inside? There is Bella and the Dragon. If you know how many books I don't read, forget the Apocrypha. I mean books that actually were in the Bible. The book of Enoch, for instance. The book of Enoch is in the Ethiopian Bible. I have the Ethiopian Bible here. Somebody gave it to me as a gift some time back.
Is it in English?
Yes, no.
So I want to ask, I have a question. Why did they deliberately
But let go.
omit?
Go, my darling. Go and rest.
Good night, Samaria. Take care of yourself. Good night, thank you. So what's some motive or the reason behind the omission or addition?
You see, it is just colonization.
Okay.
You need to understand that the Roman Catholics, the Catholic Bible was translated by Jerome around between 402 and 405 AD. It is called the Biblia Sacra Vulgata, or the Latin Vulgate. Now, when the Lutheran Revolution happened because of the printing press, and they were able to print more copies of their Bible and all that, the Lutherans removed some books. The Lutherans wanted to remove James because you see, the Bible is not univocal. The Quran is univocal. At least a huge portion of the Quran is univocal. The Bible is not. The book of James and the book of Matthew have two different messages. The book of James, even down to the teachings of Paul, 1 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians, they have two different messages. That's why James said, faith without work is useless. He was not talking about physical work. He was talking about the works of the law. It's very deep. So the Bible disagrees with the Bible. So in order to eradicate this internal disagreement, they now start removing books. Because if you read the book of Enoch does not support much of what we have today as Christian doctrine. That's why it was removed. At a point in time, now let me now tell you here, among the Dead Sea Scrolls, the book of Enoch was more popular. The Dead Sea Scrolls was a recent discovery of ancient scrolls. The book of Enoch was more prominent than many of the books we have today as Bible. The story of Esther does not exist in Persian history. Google it. Does Persian history support?
How did they come by?
Baba, just the way they came back much of the text. Because if I remember the book of Esther, it speaks of the location is, the setting is Persia. Setting is Persia. Ancient Persian Empire, God bless you. Now, there was a time one of my tutors was teaching about Persia. And he said that if you Google, did Esther, or does Esther exist in Persian history?
I did ask. Let me see. What he said is, did Esther exist in Persian history?
I want you to read what AI will send you.
Somebody wants you to add them there.
Who?
I don't know. I just read the thing.
I don't want to start going.
Modern historians and scholars widely consider the story of Esther to be a work of historical fiction rather than the factual account of Persian.
And it's in the Bible. Baba, let me show you something. Let me show you something.
There is no archaeological or extra-biblical evidence to confirm the existence of a Jewish queen named Esther.
See, look at the question I ask. Does Esther exist? I didn't even spell it well. In Persia. CAI. No, the figure of Queen Esther does not exist in Persian history, as there is no historical evidence or Persian Greek records to corroborate her story, with scholars generally agreeing the book of Esther is a work of fiction.
And they infused it.
See, Baba, if you do even down to the story of Moses, I did Egyptology. The Egyptians, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
The Egyptians do not agree. Hey, Omo, this thing don't go. My mic. Like I said, the mic don't finally die. Sorry. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, clearly.
Even the book of Esther, I mean, the book of Moses story, it doesn't exist in Mesopotamian, Egyptian, Ethiopian, or any of the history around there, that region. It only exists in Jewish history. Just like this story of Esther. Because you see, the story of Esther is a very beautiful story. It is a story of a Jewish queen reigning in a foreign land. The only thing you need to do to verify is go and check the records of the foreign land.
That's right.
It's like them saying that who was the one that amalgamated Nigeria again? What's the name of that guy? Lord Lugard. It's like them saying that Oyinbo people saying that there was one guy called Lord Lugard. He amalgamated the northern and southern Nigeria. And then you go to Ikoyi, you see a street called Lugard. Lugard exists in our history. He might be portrayed different from what they will portray him to be. But he exists in our history.
We are aware of him.
Esther does not exist in Persian history. So it is considered.
I mean, these people don't go drink for me, just the cat cruise.
Baba, they write what they want or what they believe, and it comes out. Someone said I should talk about the confusion or contradiction in Judas' mind. God bless you. The book of Acts gives us a different story about Judas. Make I ask you, Wale, how did Judas spy?
I've never followed through on that. All I know was that he betrayed Jesus.
Okay.
And we don't
I want you to read Matthew 27 verse 5. Please help me read it.
1 second. Matthew what?
27 verse 5.
27 verse.
Mom with cape say Esther was dark and broke. Then establish.
So this is Matthew 27:5 describes Judas Iscariot by suicide after.
I want you to read the verse. You are reading the overview. Just Matthew 27 verse 5. I want you to read it in the Bible.
So King James Version.
No, NLT. NLT is better. Or NIV.
Okay. So NIV. So Judas threw the money into the temple and left. Then he went away and hanged himself.
Continue.
Papa, now the only place they give me this.
Okay, then read verse 6. If you can open everything. You get what I want to make you see.
Small phone. I'm using this phone. If it was my computer now, it would have been a lot better. So, Matthew 27 verse 6, right?
Yes.
But now they see now, as I like the airport, now they expand their knowledge. To buy a like a apple below the show.
I want to tell you, boy. Read, you go see.
New International Version, is it okay?
Yes, perfect.
He is not here. He has risen.
No, Matthew 27, verse 6.
Verse 6.
Yes.
Okay. And you don't want the overview?
No, just the Bible, okay. The Bible verse.
Let me search it proper then. Matthew 27, 6, NLT.
That's fine. NLT, NIV, RSV, they're all good.
Okay. So we have Matthew 27 verse 6 from NLT.
If you can read 5 and 6 again so that they can understand. Is it together or it's just?
It's separately. It brought just the one that I searched for.
Okay, 6. All right, go ahead.
So it says the leading priests picked up the coins. It wouldn't be right to put this money in the temple treasury, they said, since it was payment for by murder.
Read verse 7. That's why I wish you could bring out the whole chapter. Just type Matthew 27 chapter.
Okay. Matthew 27. I just do all that. 27 in NLT version, right?
Yes, NLT is perfect. So I want you to get the storyline. Okay. You get what I want to show you.
Even I understand this Bible well. This thing deeper than just waiting with the see for TV. Alone. The whole of 27. So where do you want me to go all the way to 20? I'm on 27 now, so I can
5,
see
6,
everything
7 until I tell you to stop.
Okay, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so then Judas threw the silver coins down in the temple and went outside and hanged himself. 6. The leading priest picked up the coins. It wouldn't be right to put this money in the temple treasury, they said, since it was payment for murder. 7. After some discussion, they finally decided to buy the potter's field, and they made it into a cemetery for foreigners. 8. That is why the...
It's okay. So who bought the potter's field?
The priest now.
God bless you. Now I want you to read Acts chapter 1. Open Acts chapter 1. The way you open this like this, we go full.
Okay.
Open Acts chapter 1.
Okay. Yeah.
Read from verse 18.
18, okay. Chapter 1, verse 18. So it says, in brackets, Judas had bought a field with the money he received.
Who bought the field?
Judas had bought a field.
Okay, so who did Matthew 27 tell us bought the field?
The priests, because he left the money and went out.
He threw it. Meanwhile, the money where he threw for ground, now peace them pick him. Debate among them, say waiting to do with the money. They come finally agree, say they go buy the potter's field. What does Acts chapter 1 verse 18 say?
It says Judas had bought the field with the money he received from his treasury.
So Judas now buy the field. Continue.
Not be okay. Falling head first there, his body split open, spilling out all his intestine. 19. The news of his death was
okay. It's okay. How did Matthew 27 say he died?
He said he went and hung himself.
How did Acts chapter 1 say he died?
Like something splitted him into two.
And he fell head first. She person will hang himself. Now with head he go take fall. Even if he fall from there now with body. So you see, you need to understand that the contradiction of Bible begins in Genesis chapter 1. As Bible open and give us Genesis chapter 1, by Genesis chapter 2 don't they disagree with Genesis chapter 1.
Wow.
So if you don't employ a scholarly approach, you will be misled.
So I have a question from things you have taught us.
Go ahead.
In Matthew 6, if we're gonna look at interpretation of who, where, why, you know.
How far? I see your request.
Look at all lights, you know, all that. If we're gonna apply all that technique of interpreting the Bible, could Matthew have been reporting this incident to someone, let's say in third person? Could that be the case? And in Acts verse 18, would it be a direct report by, Judas couldn't have because he don't buy. So I'm just trying to make sure that we do not completely knock off, but these are like clearly the discrepancy is too much.
You see, if we look at it, the only thing it does is it removes the spirituality from that verse, because it can't be two things. Is either John is asleep or John is awake. John cannot be awake and asleep.
Can't be sleeping small and be.
Do you understand? So it's either we have to choose one. So it's either we are going with Matthew or we are going with Acts, because the two of them are not saying the same thing. It is ambitious for us to even say that they are saying the same thing, because they are not. Yes.
But the Bible is not a perfect book.
We
the Bible
know.
is not supposed to be a perfect book, because it's a book composed by man for man's selfish interests.
Don't carry and go another junction now.
No, yes, the Bible is not a religious book. I tell people, the Bible is a historic book. And history, when you're compiling, but you're passing history from generations to generations, some words are lost in context.
According to the Bible, it's not words, it's whole chapters, like the book of Esther, for instance. We can't even pin it to where it came from.
If your popsies sit down now, they tell you gist of what happened 1940, 42. When they go that stream, go catch those babes. In case that you come to tell the story, you go tell a different version of the story. Please.
Yes, now.
You can hold back some of the story because it won't corrupt your mind.
Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example of what happened to me. I grew up with a friend of mine, Tunji Olateru Olagbegi. It was his elder brother that was my friend, Yemi Olateru.
It was that dad that called me to buy.
Olagbegi. You understand?
One of the body of benchers.
Now, I believe growing up, I remember him being left-handed. So he came around the other day and we had dinner. And I said, I remember you were growing up. He said, no, he was never left-handed. There was his younger sister that was left-handed. Do you know? Because these memories, I knew them when I was 10. I'm 49. So this is 39 years ago. Abi? And I always believed him to be left-handed. So just in your own lifetime, you will see things that you would think were like this. And you always think it's called the Mandela effect.
Yeah.
You remember it in a certain way, but then it wasn't really that way.
Yeah, I agree with that.
John, don't go.
Lost John, I think his internet.
Prominent family in Ondo, yeah.
Oh yeah, yes, they want. You remember the KBC? I mean, they are mostly lawyer families. I don't know about
Yeah. His mom was a lawyer.
Yeah.
May her soul rest in peace. His mom was Chief Justice.
The Oba Olateru Olagbegi.
Yes.
The what do you call him? The heir to the empire throne was a member of the bench. What do you call it? Body of benchers. So they were one of the people who called us to the bar at that time.
That year they read book.
Importantly, this dissection and digging deep into the truth. It's not just to make it look like one religion is better than the other.
No, it is for people to be able to have critical thinking and the ability to process things outside of dogma. Because if I not tell you, say, the book of Esther, you can't tell this to the book of Esther does not exist in Persian history. How can they write a book about Persia and they say there was a Jewish queen in Persia and then the Persians don't know her? It's not possible.
Oh, wow.
So something was lost somewhere in translation.
There must have been some infusion and, or somebody just wake up, don't enjoy life, just lose someone that today will write this thing. Yes, we all lose say, chance them, what, record, world record. And very few scholars did that time. So the thing is, the purpose. Now, Christianity was not based on the Bible, but the Roman Empire based it on the Bible because they wanted a guardian book that they could use to control that particular religion. And when you control them, you rule them. You cannot control them. You cannot rule them without controlling them. definition of Christians that before the Council of the Nicaeans believed in a Christianity as a way of life, not Christianity as a religion. The council were the ones that brought Christianity as a religion, but they initially believed Christianity as a way of life. That thing that you feel is good, do it. The same way Christ would have done it.
But you see, John, let me tackle you on that. Even though what you are saying makes a lot of sense, the problem is what I believe to be good. Like, for instance, John, if I gave you $1 million today, what's the first thing you will buy?
Houses.
Me, I will buy Ferrari or watches. Do you understand what I'm telling you? And I'm not making it up. Before I go buy a house, I go down spend the money reach like 400k. I go down spend like 600k. If I remember, say, hey, I never buy a house. You understand what I'm telling you? The fact that I see watches as more important than houses is going to affect what I perceive to be good and evil. And the problem with that is the only religion that allows the worshipper the luxury of choosing the hierarchy of good and evil is Satanism. Because inherently you are not good. Inherently, if you say, okay, let's behave like Christ, how do we even know what Christ did if not for the Bible? Because if you look at John, look at the Christianity of today and look at the life of Christ. Do they resemble?
Let me say something like that. Christianity, the Bible did not tell us the way Christ behaved. You know why? Before the missionaries came to southern Nigeria, I always do southern Nigeria because it's people I know about their history. Before the missionaries came to southern Nigeria, they never knew about anybody called Christ. But they believed in you do not convert your neighbor's goods. Good. They believe that you should not steal. They believe that you should not buy someone. They believed in those 10 principles that were given to Moses on Mount Sinai. Before the missionaries even brought the book that composed about the lifetime of Christ. Do you understand?
True.
So the basic principles of Christianity is not in the Bible. It's in your conscience.
Which is
Bring
true.
Bring a child, a newborn baby, lock him in a room without human interference till he's 18. Bring him out, give him a knife to buy someone. Something in him will tell him that is wrong. That's Christianity. Christianity is a way of life. That is why some school of thought believe that a Hindu can be a Christian.
I believe it. This thing you are talking
a Buddhist
can be a Christian.
Anybody that behaves the way Christ would have behaved. Christ-like. Christ was not a Christian.
I don't know why we're arguing. We are on the same page with this thing where you talk. I don't talk these things.
I didn't agree with him. So when they come out and tell you that until you believe in Christ, you will not make... No. A Muslim who loves his neighbor as himself is already a Christian. Absolutely. A Buddhist who loves his neighbor as himself is already a Christian. You cannot tell me that a pastor who tells you that if you don't come to Obunga Church, you will not go to heaven. He's not a Christian because he does not love his neighbor as himself. That's what Christianity is. And that is why you see higher organizations like the Masonry believe more in Christianity than the church, than the present day church. Yeah. So it's correct. Very right. And when they will take you to the Bible and tell that, but Christ said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Whosoever believes in me shall not perish but have everlasting life. They forget that the same Christ told them that.
This thing where John talk now light.
Anyway you see Mr. Phila, that whoever behaves Christ-like is already a Christian. I mean, that's. I mean, you see, there's a universal truth about the doctrine of false and right, right? If it can't be right in Sudan and be true in USA. You see, I agree with him completely, because the Bible did give us his. I mean, do you even know that Islam did talked about Jesus as a prophet, Isa, yes, and the mystery around his birth, the lifetime of Isa is all there in Surah to Maryam, and all of these things, we could tell what kind of human he was. He had a nickname. Besides the Prophet Muhammad, he had a nickname related to Al-Amin, because they gave him, So all these things would
His
have told
mother,
us.
Miriam, was promised,
Yeah.
was one of the women who was promised heaven from this earth.
Oh, yes. She has a whole verse in the Quran.
Now,
I mean, a whole chapter. You know the thing about this story of Jesus? The only reason why you believe that the story of Jesus is true is that every religion, there are about more than 1,000 religions in the world, have that story of that man that was born and was died.
Light. Many of them even have that he was born on 25th of December. Many of them even have that he has 12 disciples. Many stories. This thing where this thing where John talk now lie to.
So, the thing is that they just packaged it as a religion to be able to govern mankind. Because if you go deeper into this thing, you realize that those people that they were buying then and called them witches and wizards, we are not really witches and wizards. They were people who were people who were close to Christ on earth. Because there's no way you will tell me that man did all those things.
Joan of Arc. She was martyred for witchcraft.
Yes.
They born her alive. That year.
If you look at those things that they tell people that they are secret societies. Now, present day, the things they did were exactly the kind of things that Christ would have done. And better. That is why he raised disciples. Those disciples were to pass on to mankind those things that he was able to do. But the Roman Empire did not want it to continue. So I want to ask you something, John. Imagine if I fit today here, something that happened. I just touch this wall, come out from this wall. Can you govern someone like that? If you send police, you can't arrest them. How you want to arrest them? No. Well, John, let me ask you this: if you interact with a ton of Christians, like not be people from your own immediate family. Obviously, whoever taught you all these things would have spread it. Do they reason and see things the way you see it? Do they know these things you're saying? Just like Gen Z. Christians not behave like Gen Z. They take what a preacher tells them hook, line, and sinker. I was raised in a Catholic home. I was raised to say to pray the rosary. I went to block rosary. Now for my house, they do block rosary.
Which one you block rosary again?
Block rosary now. Catholics believe in catechism. So for those that we are going to school, catechism is not possible. So they arrange cells in homes of prominent people, where all the children around the area will gather, and someone will come and do their catechism around 6 o'clock. We did from 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock. So now for my house, they do block rosary, so you can't miss it. So I was taught under a strict Catholic home. But while I was growing up, I sought to seek to to verify the things that I was taught. Mm-hmm. To verify the things that I was taught. And it doesn't mean that what I was taught is wrong, but all it means is that there are to reinforce your belief. To reinforce my belief. I did that too as a Muslim. You understand? Because I don't. At some point, I was querying myself. I said, if you tell me that only someone who says he's a Christian who was baptized will see God, does that mean that my great grandfather, who was a warrior, and who for truth will not see God? So there's a problem. If I cannot see my great grandfather, that history have told me was a good man, then there's a problem. There's a problem. Never fight nobody. Never stole property. You understand? Then I started asking questions, and I now came to realize that this man was living a Christ-like life. This man was living a Christ-like life. So he's a Christian.
That's the way a Muslim is defined, as a worshipper of God.
So I think religion, the biggest problem the world has today is religion.
Bah. Say no more.
And the biggest problem the world has today is religion. The reason why the Middle East is the way it is because of religion. The same Islam. The same Islam is the same. It's the reason why the Middle East is the way it is. Because some people are practicing the real Islam. Some people are practicing a different kind of Islam. That is why, because Saudi Arabia is a Muslim country. The UAE is a Muslim country.
Giga, thank you.
But they don't fire rockets at anybody. When the Pope came to the UAE, to Dubai, the king of the president of the UAE, that's their king, was in the church with the Pope. They sat down together side by side. They were in church. They believe in what they call religious tolerance, and that is what Christ also believes in. So this is let me buttress that. So there's a verse of the Quran. When the Islam, of course Islam was brought by Muhammad, but his own people, the Quraysh, they were idolaters. They were worshiping idols. Shorisha, Shigidi, they had things carved. Now, he was telling them about this new faith of his. And those people kicked so much against it. He ran into the caves to meditate and stay there for many years. Now, at a point in time, they will allow him and his little community do their thing near his father's house. Then they noticed their children started, gravitating towards him. They now call him, come look, this is your thing you say you are doing yourself. How about you do small with us, we come do small with you. Then Gabriel, which is Jibril, descended upon him. And there's a little chapter in that thing that says, Lakum dinukum waliyadin. Do yours and let me do mine. Now, don't interpret it literally. Take it to what we call social communal life. The rights of non-Muslims are guaranteed in our community. Non-Muslim does not mean Christian, Buddhist, Hindu, Satanist, whatever you believe, that's your own. Because belief is not about that I'm worshiping. Belief is about that I have confessed with my heart to say, Ashhadu Allah ilah. God is one and none other than God should be worshipped. That's me now confessing that faith, right? And now I'm not allowed to say because he's not a Muslim, he is not going to see God. I'm not allowed to say because he doesn't believe in what I believe in. Then now all these things will now be going on. How much do you know that I said this on this live one day, that the fact that somebody is an Arabian doesn't make him a better Muslim than me in terms of knowing the religion. It could have come in his father's tongue, because one time, John, at this Saudi Arabian man tell me, say, why me at the border they fast? Say, God know about us. Yes, because they see us as slaves. No, it's this high level of ignorance. Yes, if you feel a serious like that, but where did they carry come for your religion, your tongue? You still don't read. Some of them don't even know the Quran. We take guide ourselves. And when and this said, I'll go further in asking another question. Okay. So what does the jihad say? Okay, good. Now, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam talked about jihad when they returned from a battle called the Battle of Badr. The Battle of Badr was between Muslims, those people that he was really, they were gathering as his disciples, and his own people, not be outside out, not be your own people. As soon as they returned, because there was, he now said, "Oh, ye, the Rasulullah, that's Prophet Muhammad, call his own people that we have returned from a lesser jihad. Jihad means tough war, exchange battle, pretty much. But the jihad that is greater than this is striving against you, that bad you yesterday, to be better than what it is today." And he listed things you need to watch. We see Friday because you're not Muslim, but if there are Muslims here, they will corroborate it. There's something we read will say, Tazal Qurba. It's a whole bunch of it, but let me say it in English. Do not steal from things that are kept in your trust for children, for orphans. Do right by your neighbors. Run away from Ashaga, that's adultery and all. They listed all these things. You understand what I'm saying? Now, that's the jihad he was talking about as the greater one. Now, the word jihad in Arabic means striving and fighting. So now, when anybody talks about jihad as waging war against other races or non-Muslims, they are deceiving themselves. It's a word in Arabic that talked about fighting, striving. Now, wait, let me completely finish it. Now, the jihad as a war. There's a verse of the Quran that says, Jahidul Kufar wal Munafiqin. Fights against the non-believers, and Munafiqin means hypocrites. Yes. And at the time, who were the Munafiquns? They were the idolaters. Who were the hypocrites? Even Muslims at the time would have been referred to hypocrite, because somebody who says you've been given something in trust and you ate it or deny the people who have it, you are a hypocrite. You understand? So now when we look at it, the vague meaning of jihad is what people listen to, or what they begin to propagate. Now, all that bullshit going on in Middle East is politics. No, but you can't call it politics when they've started migrating it down to the West. I see people say religious tolerance is something that we must practice with strict discipline. I see people in the US going to stores in the US saying that no, people should stop selling haram. That when I mean haram, I mean pork, alcohol, and the rest. They said they should stop selling it. Yes, in Texas. Yes. They don't have the right to tell anybody what to sell. But it's all over. It's all over. It's a video. It's everywhere. A sheikh went to stores. I was telling people to stop selling haram. That they are going to visit them in another 30 days to protest. Now I'm asking, you cannot go into another man's culture and want to impose your religion on him. Real religion, as in, wait, John, wait. I'm getting somewhere. I'm getting somewhere. I am a Christian, not as a religion, but as a way of life. We believe what we believe in. We don't believe in preaching to anybody. We believe in living our life exemplary. We believe that when we live our life and you see it, you are the one that will want to come and tell us, brother, I love the way you're living your life. Can I join you? We don't believe in forcing our religion on someone else, especially when it has to do with our faith. That is Christianity as a way of life. That is Christianity as a way of life. So I have a problem with, there are certain things I have a problem around, and like I said, the Islam that is practiced in the UAE, in Saudi Arabia, is perfect. That is tolerance. But you see the Islam that is practiced in northern Nigeria, Iran, Yemen.
Well, let me.
I don't know what they call that Islam. That version of Islam.
So, well,
let me tell you something, John.
You've seen a version that.
Let me tell you something, John.
You like, right?
John.
So
no, hold on, Wale,
yes,
hold on.
Okay.
I don't hear una since. I want to talk something.
Okay.
Everything are grade by grade. If Wale call me one day say he won't come my life, come they talk about Islam, I no go answer him. But because Wale come here, he read Bible with us. He's trying to understand Christian. When he now wants to start talking about his own, we too want to hear him. I learn from him. Anytime he's talking about Islam, sometimes there are things I've forgotten. Sometimes there are things I never knew. This meat get pepper. And it was hot. It don't burn my whole mouth. And I no greedy liver. I'm too greedy. So, what am I trying to say in essence is, if every Muslim can be like Wale, we no go get problem. Because he wants to hear your own.
What I would say is that...
Do you know that Dele said something to Wale yesterday? Wale was reading the Bible yesterday. And the way Wale is going, Wale will soon have a better understanding of the Bible than Dele. But Dele said that...
But Wale is a Muslim.
Good. But because Wale is open...
Those guys in Iran are not Muslims. That's what I'm trying to bring.
I get you.
In Iran and Northern Nigeria are not Muslims. They're not Muslims. We go reach there, John. No worry. They're not Muslims. Because, John, let me give you an example. Let me give you an example. I might be digressing here, but it's just an example. I personally, my personal opinion, I believe that what is going on between the Palestinians and the Israelis is just foolishness. And I believe that what is going on between the Palestinians and the Israelis is not even about Palestine and Israel. It's about Russia. Go and study, go and dig out a secret mission called Operation Seek. Operation Seek was a pact signed by the KGB and Yasser Arafat.
John, I beg, no vex, no talk too much of this thing. They always look our face for social media.
So what I'm saying in essence is that for me personally, I believe that land belongs to the Israelis, to the Jewish, 100%, and there's no mixing words about it. And when what I see is an ideology trying to indoctrinate Gen Zs to turn against the Jews, and this was how it started before the Holocaust.
Baba, all these ones are big things. I think at this point, let me go to bed before they begin to hear with it.
Importantly,
because these people, they will be better people though.
And let me end this with one thing. When people tell me that history started in 1948, I look at them and laugh. Any history that started in 1948 is not history. If 2,000 years ago, every religion on earth agreed that a child was born in that land to a Jewish family and to a Jewish community who lived there 2,000 years ago.
You see, this particular topic, I might not agree with you fully, John, but I cannot talk about it.
But
because of the problem that is. Wale could just leave and move from here.
Okay.
Move from here, just use and say goodbye and good night. Any day me and you sit down to drink beer, John, we'll go talk this matter again. And I thank God, say Wale too, even though I'm Muslim, Ojo Afa Okro Loti, himself they drink. You they drink beer?
No, the DF is always a pleasure talking about. The only thing that practice our part in life is knowledge. Me,
Finish.
I just want to learn.
Knowledge is the light.
I'm willing to hear anything because you never can tell. It might be handy or useful somewhere. But importantly, I'll do a voice note and send to John. And I would explain some part of
then when I fit they keep up. But if we talk about it on live, they feel begin to censor us. So I don't want to enter their trouble. Those people.
I understand because your page is monetized, but
not even monetized. They can take down my Instagram is not monetized. My Instagram is not monetized. They can just take it.
This thing about a group of people wanting people to believe in one direction is a very major problem the world is facing today. And it's going to be.
Remember, as you start the thing, as I tell you, saying, I think I do have a sufficient idea of what you're talking about. I said politics. But
somebody say they won't do shit. I get 1.1 million followers. I no one gamble am. Thank you very much. I no one gamble am. I mean, they help me close on. No, mind them. Baba, if you know, many people have lost because of this. I don't even have it. I will not mention that word ISRAAL. I'm not going to use my mouth to mention them because once you mention them, like the algorithm will not pick up, begin they look you waiting they talk. Do you know how many people lost their job because they did not take part in the London protest? I'm not going to mention the protest. Just because they recorded it and posted it on social media, people lost their jobs.
Wow.
Baba, it's very. You see.
So that there's something going on in the background. I will talk to you later about it. The West are beginning to realize what is actually going on. Yes, and that is one of the reasons why I'm thinking that's one of the reasons why Qatar banned Nigerian men from coming in. That's all I have to say.
Good night, everybody. Our Ogawe own Instagram. You know, say that from one side income.
Yes.
So move, just use church mind. Just good night.